This video is brought to you by my two books, Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist and The Blues Guitar Bible. Want to learn about modes, harmony, scales, chord substitution and keys? Or maybe you're interested in supercharging your blues guitar rhythm and lead chops. Whatever you're interested in, I guarantee you will be hitting the fast lane to progress with either of these works. Both feature video demonstrations and tutorials, loads of tabs and jam tracks to play along with, and I promise you, everything is explained in crystal clear plain English. Check out the links in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. It's Wednesday today, which means we're dealing with matters of a rhythm guitar nature. You may recall a few weeks ago I did a video on the difference in technique, on difference in approach when strumming an electric guitar as opposed to the strumming technique you use on an acoustic guitar. And I thought I'd pull at that thread a little bit more today. When you're playing an accompaniment, shall we say, on an electric guitar, it's not always necessary to play chords at all, as this little piece of music should demonstrate. So I wasn't doing very much there other than adding a little bit of texture and, just some kind of, some other dimension to what is otherwise just a bass drums and acoustic guitar backing track. This approach is, you hear it, I guess. Who would take this to the nth degree? Someone like The Edge out of U2, or perhaps Johnny Marr taking this approach. I don't claim to have that much of an insight into how they do it, but I understand the basic principles, and they are these.
Here is the explanation.
Okay, so the chord sequence for the piece of music we're dealing with here is in the key of D. Apart from one chord, there's a borrowed chord in there, a C major chord, but everything else is coming from the key of D. I think we've got a D chord, G, E minor, A or A7, a B minor in there, and as I say, we're kind of just borrowing a C chord from the adjacent key of G major, but D major is where we're based. So a useful ploy is to take just the root note of the key, the D note here, and the fifth, and create a little repeating kind of figure that sort of floats above the chord changes. What would I play? Something like that. And just a little bit of delay and chorus on that, and it just sits in the mix nicely. It just adds texture. I think when it went to the B section where we hit the G chord in the piece of music, I was doing this. This is just something I stumbled across by accident, really, and it works. I didn't stumble across it by accident recently. I've had this one in the toolbox for years. Any key where you're basically in what I would call a cowboy key, so a key that is based around one of your cowboy chords, like a C or a G or a D or an A or something like that. Just take a D chord and turn it into a D sus2. So that's going to be 2nd fret on the 3rd string and 3rd fret on the 2nd string and open top E string, and create another little repeating figure around that, and just let that ring out almost like a peal of bells over the over the top of the chord sequence. And it just kind of works because all of these notes will be in key. So for instance, when we play that over a D chord, then the E note in there is making it a D add 9. But if we play it over a C chord, for example, then this E note is the major 3rd of the C chord, this is the 9th, and this is the 6th. So you're getting a C major 6 add 9. If I just play a C note underneath that, you can hear how that just resonates nicely and adds just a bit of sophistication and texture. There are many other approaches you can take. You can almost take like a percussive approach to playing one of these repeating things. By the way, the technical name for them is ostinato, when you have a repeating little kind of musical phrase that sits above the chord changes. In the 80s, it was hard to turn on the radio and listen for more than 10 minutes without hearing something like this on some big hit of the day. That kind of thing floating above the chord changes. I believe it was Ray Parker Jr. who popularised that. Other things you can do, maybe just use some subtle double stops, you know, so if you're in the key of D, you could go... something like that, just using thirds from that key, or even sixths, you know. Like that. The key thing is to listen to what the lead guitar part or the vocalist or whoever is in the limelight at the time, and listen for where there are sort of gaps that you can fit into, both in terms of rhythmically and harmonically. You know, you don't want to be playing if there's a solo going on down here on the bass strings, you don't want to be playing something down there as well that's going to be kind of getting in the way. Likewise, if there's a big kind of widdly solo going on up the top end here, like this, you don't want to be kind of up in that higher register either as you're doing this. It's all about learning to fit in. And as I say, the root and fifth of the key, or just this little D sus2 trick, will usually fit the bill. And, you know, then there's that whole 80s Ray Parker Jr. thing. Like that's a valid thing. So just experiment with these ideas and try them out. For my wonderful, wonderful Patreon supporters, you're going to be getting a couple of different jam tracks. You're going to be getting the whole jam track minus the guitar solo. And you're also going to be getting just the bass, drums and acoustic guitar version of the jam track, so you can try out some of these ideas yourself over the top of it. So there you go. Now you know what to do. Go away and have some fun with it. And just to prove that that little kind of rhythm guitar part, if you can call it that ostinato approach that I was using there isn't going to get in the way of like a melody, a lead guitar, a vocal part or anything like that. Here's the same track again, but this time I played a solo over the top of it. And as always, you'll find a full tab for that entire piece of music in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, that explanation you've just seen there, and those jam tracks that I mentioned in the explanation clip. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, and the link is in the description. As I'm sure you know by now, $3 or £3 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies and resources that go along with these YouTube videos. And a massive, massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are down there in the description. And that is it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video, found it useful and entertaining in some small way, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. Why not drop me a like as well while you're at it? Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and talk about music and guitars, basically. What's not to like about that? It's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.